Hello friends, in this video I am going to discuss, do you know Rajiv Gandhi Advocates Training Scheme? Ministry of Law and Justice, Department of Legal Affairs launched the scheme, namely Rajiv Gandhi Adhivakta Prashikshan Yojna or Rajiv Gandhi Advocates Training Scheme to provide intensive professional training to young advocates to upgrade their professional knowledge and skill. So in this video, I will discuss the Rajiv Gandhi Advocates Training Scheme in detail. Let's start with the first question, that is, what is all about the Rajiv Gandhi Advocates Training Scheme? The Rajiv Gandhi Advocates Training Scheme is a training program under which 10 young lawyers are selected from each state every year, and they are being provided 2 months intensive training workshop. Now, you might have the question, that is, what is the purpose of such a scheme? The foremost purpose behind the commencement of the lawyers training program is to standardize the training of future generations of lawyers. Through this training program, the young lawyers can attain a minimum level of legal knowledge and advocacy skills before they take on the responsibilities associated with representing clients before the courts. In addition to this, such training scheme will also increase public confidence in the legal system by setting clear ethical standards for the practice of law and training future lawyers about their ethical responsibilities to society and the role they play in promoting the integrity of the legal system as a whole. Moreover, such training program helps in developing hidden talent, building better communication skills, clarifying the concept of marketing as a business process, ensuring consistent quality and lawyering ethics, providing greater focus in legal practice, and producing more effective productive efforts. Now you might have the question, that is, why is such training program needed? Access to justice has been recognized as a fundamental right. An effective justice delivery system requires that justice be made available at the doorstep of people, and for this purpose, we should have talented, dedicated, and qualified legal professionals who serve at the grassroots level. So far as providing justice at the doorstep is concerned, we have courts at the district and taluka levels. Now, we also have Gram Nyayalaya at village and intermediate level. Likewise, the trained young advocates will make justice system more efficient and easily accessible at this grassroots level. Now, you might have the question, that is, what are the objectives of this scheme? The object of Rajiv Gandhi Adhivakta Prashikshan Yojna scheme is to give motivation and encouragement to young lawyers who are practicing in magistrate and municipal courts. Such a scheme provides proper professional training for a period of 2 months so that they may serve the need of law professionals at grassroots level. Furthermore, this training will encourage young lawyers to stay in the profession at the grassroots level, and it will also help to ease their frustration. Nation would also get benefit of such encouraging and efficient justice system at grassroots level. Likewise, this scheme will motivate and encourage young talented meritorious lawyers to remain in legal practice. Now you might have the question, that is, what is the eligibility criteria? Following are the major criteria. He/she shall be enrolled as an advocate and should have been engaged in actual practice in a magistrate or a municipal court. He/she should not be above the age of 30 years. However, relaxation of age up to 3 years may be given to suitable SC, ST, OBC, PH, that is physically handicapped, and women advocates. His or her monthly income shall not be more than 15,000 per month, and he/she shall submit an affidavit to the effect that he/she is willing to make available his/her services for legal aid programs under the district legal aid authority. Now, you might have the question, that is, what is the application procedure? The application procedures are: the State Bar Council shall advertise this scheme for calling applications in the prescribed format, at least in 2 local newspapers, one each in English and regional language. For the purpose of selection, the State Bar Council of the concerned state will invite applications from the eligible candidates every year, and the format for making the applications shall be laid down by the Bar Council of India. Now, you might have the question, that is, how does selection committee scrutinize the applicants? The selection committee, while recommending candidates, may have regard to the following, that is, educational qualification of the candidate, monthly income of the candidate, personal details like age, category, that is general, SC, ST, women, OBC, physically handicapped, performance in personal interactions, counseling, district taluka where candidate is practicing. Besides, selection committee also considers he/she should, in the opinion of selection committee, be meritorious and talented advocate. The selection committee, after selection, shall forward names of selected candidates to the Bar Council of India, the nodal agency for implementing the scheme. The Bar Council of India, after receipt of the names of the advocates, shall forward the names to the nominated National Law University or University Law Schools of the concerned state. Now, the next question may be, is there any scheme quota system for selection of candidates? Following are the 2 quota systems. That is, each year from each state, not more than 10, and depending upon the population of the state, practicing young advocates shall be selected for imparting professional training. And while selecting candidates, preference shall be given to those who belong to scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, other backward classes, physically handicapped, and women advocates. Now, the next question you might have is, who are the members of selection committee? The selection committee shall consist of the following: a judge of the High Court nominated by the Chief Justice of High Court of the concerned state, that is chairman. Additional Assistant Solicitor General of India attached with that High Court. Chairman State Bar Council, a member of the Bar Council of India of the concerned state, and Advocate General of the state concerned. Now, the next question is, what is the training procedure? The training consists of 2 components, with first month training will be imparted in a national law school or university law school, and second month training will be imparted under a senior leading advocate. Now, the next question is, what are the significant features of the first month training of a national law school? Following are the significant features. Professional training to the selected candidates shall be given by a national law school or university law school, nominated by the Central Committee on rotational basis. In a state where there is no national law school, the Central Committee, if it thinks fit, may nominate any prestigious university law school in that state for imparting the training under the scheme. And during the training, selected candidates shall be provided study materials and free lodging and boarding facility. Next, copyright of the course curriculum study materials prepared by the Bar Council of India for the purpose of the training will be with the Ministry of Law and Justice, Department of Legal Affairs, and resource persons for training at national law schools, university law schools. The National Law School, University Law School would seek the services of experts in the relevant field of law, including judges, lawyers, law teachers, law officers, etc. Now, the next question is, what does first month training of a national law school contain? It contains alternative dispute resolution, mechanism for settlement of disputes and its advantages, criminal trials, plea bargaining, its scope and importance and art of cross-examination, use of information technology and communication in court proceedings and its advantages in court proceedings, presentation of the case and argument before the court, provisions contained in Hague Convention on the Service Abroad of judicial and extrajudicial documents in civil and commercial matters, mechanism of service of summons and other judicial documents issued by Indian court to persons residing in foreign territory and vice versa. Effective and advantages of having mutual legal assistance treaty in civil and commercial matters and in criminal matters, extradition treaty and treaty on transfer of convicted persons with foreign countries, cyber laws dealing with cyber crimes and related issues, and a specific legislation such as intellectual property law, competition law, their importance and relevance in modern day business, with the Domestic Violence Act 2005, the Protection of Child Rights Act 2005, the Dowry Prohibition Act 1963, the Gram Nyaya Act 2009, Consumer Protection Act 1986, Protection of Human Rights Act 1993, Family Courts Act 1984, Land Acquisition Act 1894, Environmental Laws, etc. Now, you might have the question, that is, what does training under a senior leading advocate contain? Following are the major contents. After successful completion of the training at the nominated national law school or university law school, the Bar Council of India shall impanel senior advocates of the place where the trainee advocate practices, and the trainee candidates will be placed under his or her supervision for 1 month. At a time, not more than 3 candidates shall be placed under a senior advocate, leading advocate. Senior advocate or leading advocate shall guide the candidate in respect of practical aspects of the legal profession, take him to court, and seek his assistance in discharging his professional duties. Likewise, the training under the supervision of senior advocate or leading advocate would help the trainee candidates in improving their practical skills. Now, you might have the question, that is there any stipends for such a scheme? Every trainee advocate shall be provided a stipend of Rs 2,500 for a period of 6 months from the date he/she starts training under a senior advocate or leading advocate. Now, let's check out some of the miscellaneous information regarding this scheme. The first question is, who is the nodal agency? The Bar Council of India shall be the nodal agency for monitoring the implementation of the scheme. Next, what are the guidelines for organizing training program? The Bar Council of India shall formulate guidelines after the approval of the central government in respect of the following: boarding and lodging facilities, resource persons and their payment, course curriculum, session of training per day, visits to justice fora such as courts, jails, Human Rights Commission, tribunals, and police headquarters, a standard total budget estimate for each training session at National Law School, University Law School, and provision of Akash tablet. Now, the next question, that is, what is the source of necessary funds for this scheme? For the purpose of meeting the expenditure of this scheme, central government shall provide necessary amount in the budget of Ministry of Law and Justice, Department of Legal Affairs. Next, for what purpose the fund will be used? Following are the important purposes, that is, expenditure for providing study material and training by National Law School or University Law School. Expenditure for providing traveling expenses by road, train, AC third, and traveling allowance to local candidates. Boarding and lodging facilities to the selected candidates during the professional training at National Law Schools, University Law School. Necessary administrative expenses for administering the scheme to the National Law Schools or University Law Schools. The central government shall provide the requisite funds amount as determined by the Central Committee to the National Law University, University Law School, nominated, approved by the Central Committee for imparting the training. And the concerned National Law University, University Law School imparting the training shall submit the utilization certificate of the received amount to the Joint Secretary in charge of the implementation cell within 1 month after the completion of the training. Next, who are the members of Central Committee? For the purpose of administering the scheme, there shall be a Central Committee consisting of the following: Union Minister for Law and Justice as chairman, 2 senior advocates of the Supreme Court or High Court nominated by the Honorable Minister of Law and Justice as member, Chairman Bar Council of India as member, a Vice Chancellor, Director of National Law University nominated by the Honorable Minister of Law and Justice as member, Union Law Secretary as member, and Joint Secretary in charge of Implementation Cell as member secretary. Next, what are the major works of Central Committee? Following are the major works of Central Committee, that is, determine the amount for each training program, fix the maximum number of candidates to be selected in a year for each state and union territory, nominate the National Law School, University Law School, and review the progress of the scheme and make necessary changes, amendments. Next, who does monitor the scheme? The Bar Council of India shall submit a report after completion of each training session to the Joint Secretary in charge of the implementation cell. Now, let's check out the integrity of this scheme. Whereas the preamble of the Constitution of India provides to secure justice, social, economic, and political. And whereas Article 39A of the Constitution mandates that the state shall provide free legal aid by suitable legislation or a scheme or in any other way to ensure that opportunities for securing justice are not denied to any citizen by reason of economic or other disabilities. And whereas in order to enable the state to provide free legal aid and guarantee a speedy trial, a vast number of persons duly trained in legal profession are essential. And whereas the explosion in population, the vast changes brought about by scientific, technological, and other developments, and the all-round enlarged field of human activity reflected in modern society, and the consequent increase in litigation in courts and other fora demand that the service of competent persons with expertise in law is required at various stages and different levels and should be made available. And whereas the Supreme Court in the case of a state of Maharashtra versus Manubhai Pragati Vashi 1995 5 Supreme Court 730 has observed that the need for a continuing and well organized legal education is absolutely essential, reckoning the new trends in the world order and to meet the ever growing challenges. And whereas it has become necessary to encourage and motivate young and talented and meritorious law graduates at grassroots level to stay and continue in legal profession. Now, therefore, the Ministry of Law and Justice, Department of Legal Affairs hereby makes a scheme, namely Rajiv Gandhi Adhivakta Prashikshan Yojna or Rajiv Gandhi Advocates Training Scheme to provide intensive professional training to young advocates to upgrade their professional knowledge and skill. So, this is all about the Rajiv Gandhi Advocates Training Scheme. So, many of you may take advantage of such a scheme to enhance your lawyering skill and legal knowledge. Wish you good luck.